Hello and welcome to the final part of my GTA San Andreas No Major Glitches beginner's tutorial. Same again, I'll quickly state right at the start, if you see any glitches during this video that I haven't explained, it is likely because I've done them in a previous episode, so I recommend watching those first. But if you're just here for the final segment, Return to Los Santos, or RTLS as it's called for short, then welcome. I'll do my best to give you as much insight as I can. This segment is non-linear by default because of gang territories, but I will do my best to show you as much of a linear path as possible. But as I say, with gang territories, it gets a bit complicated later on, but I'll do my best to show you. And, you know, we always have the power of post-production and editing to help us if need be. But for now, let's start with the first mission. I will start the timer. I will scroll all the way down. Once we go out of this building, we're going to get a phone call. It doesn't necessarily matter when you take these phone calls, but you should take them when it's convenient to do so, because we need to empty our call queue by the end of the segment, because we need 2 phone calls to activate the final mission, and those will only come through if we don't have any other calls that would take priority. So just keep that in mind. So whenever I get a call, I'm just going to answer it, unless it's in a really inopportune time. Oh, didn't mean to fall off the boat there. But Vertical Bird is quite a trivial mission. All that we need to do is head around here, head towards the back of the boat. I want to quickly turn the volume down on my side because it's a bit loud. I'm fighting with my chair here, excuse me, because my headphones are caught on it. There we go. Skip this cutscene. There we go, now I can actually hear myself think. Right, go out here. I actually exit the boat before the cutscene here. You see there, I just like pressed F prematurely. I was told that helps with these guys' accuracy, but I don't think it's true. But either way, just take these guys out. Just bear in mind that they have M4s, and they do quite a bit of damage, as you can see, so try not to get dropped. Don't worry about the anti-air things. You don't have to worry about that. There is vending machines here if you need to heal. But we've only got one more guy to take out. He usually runs at you here, but I think because I went to the vending machines, he went to a different place. He's here instead. Where is he? There he is. He's stuck. But yeah, anyway, take him out just to make sure he doesn't kill you. Watch when you're running on this, because it's like slippy for some reason. And now we're doing the Hydra. So when I take the landing gear off, if you're not familiar with driving the Hydra, I would recommend learning it before you do this segment. Just fly about for a bit and learn. So once you get here, I'm going to slow down here and fly low underneath the bridge. And the idea is that hopefully the planes will actually turn around and hit the bridge and blow up, as you see a few of them did. Ideally, you get all of 3 of them to do that, but that is unlikely. It's more likely you'll get like 1 or 2 or sometimes none. If that does happen, then you can just simply do what you're intended to, lock onto the jets, blow them up with the rockets. Obviously your controls might be dependent on what bind you have set up. For me, it's hold space and then use left control to shoot. Blow them up. But yeah, ideally you get them all to be destroyed here, but ultimately it's kind of luck, you know, it's based on the AI, essentially. But once you've destroyed them all, we're going to go back into jet mode. I was in hover mode there, by the way, just to make it a bit easier. You can switch between the 2. For me, it's numpad, 8 and 2. We're going to fly over this rock. And we're going to come... We're not actually going to use the Hydra to take these things out, because that's slow and annoying. Hopefully you have some minigun ammo left, because we're going to use it right here. Going to put the landing gear down. Land on this rock. Where you land doesn't really matter, just make sure that you don't sink it. And then if you get a good enough angle, you can actually see all of the boats, and you can really easily destroy them with the minigun, as you can see. There's one here. If in the event that you don't have enough minigun ammo, you can actually also use the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle is really strong against these, so I'll showcase this as well. See 4 bullets and you blow them all. You blow them up. So that's a good backup if you don't have a minigun. But you should have enough ammo. And we're going to use the minigun for pretty much this entire segment. We're going to farm a load of ammo after this mission. So here we just need to go back towards the airfield. That's where the game's going to tell us to go in just a second. There you go. And we need to park this on the like the landing strip. And then into the airfield hangar. So you can just like kind of jump ahead and, you know, just come here, trigger the bit, and then you can just drive in. There you go. Make sure you're in jet mode for that. That's the most important thing. And now we're going to head to Torino's place, not towards a mission, But we're actually going to go to Torino's Ranch over here. So you can set a marker if you're not too familiar with where to go, but otherwise you can just follow the route here. So we're going to go and farm load of minigun ammo, and thankfully, Torino's Ranch, now that we've just completed Vertical Bird, has a ton of weapons that we can easily farm. And the reason we can farm them is because we can save the game, and every 6 hours in game time, the weapons respawn. And as you know, saving the game forwards 6 hours. So we can just save the game, and that will immediately respawn the minigun in, and we can just keep grabbing it over and over again. Watch out for these trees. Some of them can spawn in right in front of you, as you saw there. It's kind of freaky. But yeah. As for how much ammo you need, it completely depends on how confident you are. So if you're first starting off, I'm going to take this call as well, by the way, just because we're going to empty our queue. If you're just starting off, I would recommend to overestimate rather than underestimate. And then once you do a couple of runs and you realize oh, I don't need nearly as much ammo as that, then you can get less and so on and so forth, right? So you get 500 bullets every single time. So what I would recommend for NMG is to just get 10 pickups, so 5,000 ammo when you're first starting out. Because, you might not be too proficient at aiming, you might, waste a load of bullets, and it's way quicker to take an extra 10 seconds to grab more bullets here than it is to run out of ammo and not be able to use the minigun later on. Because, the AK compared to the minigun is just, it's night and day, the difference. The AK is so bad compared to it, so, yeah, just farm as quickly as you can. We have half of them, so we'll get 5 more pickups. This call here is probably a girlfriend call. I know. Yes. Didn't need to answer it, but whatever. Who cares? Last pickup. And now we're going to go to Mad Dog's Mansion. You might not have a marker here because if you haven't taken enough calls, as you saw at the start of the video, the marker won't spawn here. But you can still start the mission like we did with Vertical Bird. So just bear in mind that it's Mad Dog's Mansion at the north of LS. You can always put a marker here if you're unsure. But if you have the CJ marker, then that's great. We can just fly straight there. But you're just basically just going mostly south, a little bit east. And we're going to go and start Homecoming. Again, fly nice and high here because trees can very easily pop in and ruin your evening. Once you get up to this hilly section, which is where the mansion is going to be, just start slowing down. Again, around the mansion, there are trees here as well. Just keep that in mind. I don't want to pull far that back. Pull far that back. Yes, nice English, Ben. Native speaker, by the way. Pull that far back is what I meant to say. So here, we want to park the Hydra and ideally use it for this next mission, but it's not a big deal. We're going to get rid of it very quickly. I recommend parking it diagonal, because then it will get stuck in between the two, walls here. If you park it straight on, it can roll down, and the issue with it rolling down is that if it's moving, it will despawn for some reason when you start this mission. I don't know why. Something San Andreas. So I'm going to make sure that it's not moving by parking it basically sideways, and then we can just easily start the mission. Go up here. If you do lose the Hydra for whatever reason, you do get 2 vehicles here that you can use. They're random. They're not always that good, but whatever. We're not going very far. So what I would recommend here is flying up, and as you start flying towards the precinct to go and pick up Sweet, I would recommend playing your replay that you've had all the way since Badlands. And that's just to incentivize the game to spawn in better vehicles, basically, for you. So go here, play the replay, and then just land. Obviously, this landing is quite dangerous, so just fling the plane as far away from you as possible. We got a ZR there. It's probably... it's green light. I would have gone for it, but whatever. Elegant is fine. You just want to get, as good a vehicle as possible, but don't spend too long fucking about trying to get one. And now we need to drive back to Grove Street with Sweet.
Just take me to mama's house.
And then we're going to do our first gang war. So gang wars are very important to become like proficient at, because it's basically all you're going to be doing for the entire segment. Every mission is basically a gang war, bar a couple. So getting proficient at gang wars is the best thing you can do to optimize this segment. So the way they work is you kill 3 rival gang members inside of their territory, aka you being in their territory. It doesn't matter if they are, it only matters if you are. And it also doesn't matter what type of gang it is. So even if it's 3 Vargos inside of a baller's territory, that will still count. And you'll start the gang war. And then you've got to kill 3 waves of guys. So the first thing we need to look for is ballers. Because right here, the gang war takes a certain amount of time and you can't speed it up, right? So if you have 2 objectives here. You've got to take out the drug dealers, which is what we're doing here. And then you've got to start the gang war. But you want to start the gang war as soon as possible, because the gang war takes way longer, because you've got to do the 3 waves. If you have 10k ammo here, don't worry about being super liberal. You can waste as much as you want. And just bear in mind that if Sweet gets too far away, then you'll lose the drug dealers on your map. So just keep that in mind. Another thing to mention about the gang wars is that these guys spawn where you're not looking. So if you want them to spawn a certain direction, just look in the other direction. So here, I'm going to want them to spawn towards Grove Street. So I've killed all of the drug dealers, and I want them to spawn here, and they spawn right behind me. And I can just destroy them all. There we go. That's the gang war done. This next mission, our objective is to do yet another gang war. We're going to have to do lots of gang wars going forward. So if you were here in the Los Santos segment, you should have a cop bike here. And the cop bike is going to be ideal because it's going to allow us to skip 1/3 of the waves when we do actual gang territories. It doesn't work in missions because we need to use Vigilante, which we can't use during missions. But we're going to use this bike on the way back to do some more gang territories, but I'll get into that later on. For now, we'll just look at the mission. And the mission is go to Glen Park and do a gang territory and claim it back, basically. Sweet loves to be very slow for some reason. But yeah, like, gang territories is one of those things where it absolutely sucks, and I don't know why they put it in the game. It's a terrible mechanic, but we have to deal with it. So all I can do is show you how to do it in the most efficient way possible, right? So we go here, and again, we need to be inside Glen Park. The ballers don't. So all you got to do is go into this trigger where it basically says like, oh, attack the ballers. That means you're in their territory. And now you just want to look out for ballers. They can also be inside of cars. As you see this Majestic here, this is a baller car. So I'm going to assume that there was a baller inside it, and I'm going to kill him prematurely. You see, another Majestic, another guy gets out. That's 2. And now we just need to find 1 more baller. Ultimately, this is luck. That you can lose time here just to getting no spawns. That's just the way this game is. Again, welcome to San Andreas speedrunning. There's number 3, and we can go on our way. So here you want to be making your way over towards this house on the northwest while you're doing the waves. So what I like to do is I like to move up slowly and then look towards it so that the guys spawn behind. The reason why I have them spawn behind rather than like in front, like over here, is because of the bridge. You don't want them to spawn up or on top of the bridge if you're underneath it, and you don't want them to spawn underneath it if you're on top. You get the idea, right? So instead, we're just gonna... Also, you don't need to care about Sweet. Fuck him. I've had people tell me that you do, but I never have, and it's never been a problem, so maybe I'll be proven wrong. But yeah, ideally you want to be a bit further on this bridge, and then you can look away and they'll all spawn here. These spawns are a bit messed up because I was in a terrible position because I got no spawns, but... The important part is that you just kill them with the minigun. You can slice through them so quickly. And as you can see, sometimes you get absolutely trolled, and the guys run all the way around like this. They run all the way down the path and then this way instead of crossing the road. Because using an AK to try and murder somebody is absolutely fine, but the idea of jaywalking is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, it's proper stupid. So I'm just going to go ahead here and move a bit further forward. If you're an absolute beast, you can spawn these guys on this road, all of them. But I was, as I say, not in a good position to do so, so I'm just going to kill them here instead. But ultimately, as long as you're killing them efficiently, you know, you're like spawning them in, killing them with the minigun as soon as you can, then it doesn't really matter.
come on, keep up.
So final thing we need to do is just kill all these guys. They're not particularly a threat. Hopefully my bike is around. It is not. That can sometimes happen. I honestly don't know why. I'm sure somebody will probably have an answer with this game, but sometimes your bike can despawn, which is great because you're going to need it. So try and not let that happen. It might be because I was on it. It might have despawned it when I was on the bike. I'm honestly not sure. But yeah, we need a bike. So I'm going to go and get a cop bike, and I'll show you the gang territory segment. So be right back. Okay, we have a cop bike, and we're at Glen Park. It took several minutes of driving around to find one, but we've got one. So, let me show you how to do gang territories. So, I'm not going to show you the whole thing while this cop is... I'll just pause, I suppose, while this cop's messing around. So, I'm not going to show you the whole thing because there isn't much point. It is repeating the same thing several times in a row. But I'll tell you how it works and how to do it, and then you can use that knowledge to go through it, okay? So, the way it works is, in order to unlock the final mission of the game, you can do all the missions right now in a linear order, but eventually you'll get to a point where you can't start the final mission. In order to start the final mission, you need to go to this gang stat, and you need to have 35% or more of territories under control. I forget the exact number that it is. I think it's like 18 or 19 or something, but 35% is the most important part. Now, the territory, the size of the territory and stuff doesn't matter. It is just a strict number which equals the percentage. Like, every territory is worth a certain percentage. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it in two different parts. We're going to do 4 territories now, and we're going to do the rest later. Right now, we are here, and we are going to basically cut through here and take over these territories on the way back to Grove Street to do Grow for Life. Now, what makes this fast is... the cop bike that we have, it has a submission called Vigilante, right? I'm sure you're all familiar with it at this point. If you start a gang war and you complete 2 of the 3 waves and then start Vigilante on the 3rd wave, it actually counts as the gang war being completed because you own 66.6% of that territory because you've done 2/3 of the waves, if that makes sense. Basically, you own it, but you haven't fully completed it, but you've owned it, so it counts towards the final thing. So I'm sure you get the idea of what we're going to be going for. What we're going to do is we're going to use that trick to avoid having to do Wave 3 for every single territory. But not only that, is we're going to do another thing on top, which is going to make it even better, is we're going to use those spawns from Wave 3, we're going to start Vigilante, and then we're going to be in a different territory, and we're going to kill those Wave 3 guys, and that is going to start the next territory that we're in. Because again, it doesn't matter where they are, and it doesn't matter what part of the gang or whatever warfare they're from. All that matters is that we're killing gang members in a territory. So let's say, for example, this territory here, this like square, it's not actually a territory, it's hard to tell what is what, but let's just say this little square is a territory. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to find some gang members, and I'm going to kill them. I'm going to do the Wave 1, I'm going to do Wave 2, and then during, like, while we're waiting for Wave 3 to spawn, I'm going to go, let's say, here. And then Wave 3 is going to spawn. I'm going to cancel the gang war with Vigilante, which counts this as being taken over. And then these guys are going to be here, which gives me 3 guaranteed spawns to take out the next segment. So then we can start this gang war, and we can change it to here, 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 blah, blah, blah. You get the idea, right? So I'll show you how it looks in practice, but every single time you go to do gang territories, you need that first step. Like, that's the most important part, is you need that first set of spawns. So I head east here, and perfect, we get some spawns, but obviously just drive around until you find something. But all we're going to do is we're just going to chain these territories on the way to Grove Street. So in terms of like exactly where to stand and exactly where to look, better players will have an answer there for you. I'm going to kill this cop because cops can be very annoying. It's also worth mentioning that it's very hard to get increased wanted levels while you're in gang wars. So you can kill cops and stuff, and as you see, I still have 1 star even though I just murdered a cop. Because the game like doesn't really care, basically. But yeah, if you're looking for exact like advanced positioning, then you're not going to find it here because, as I say, I'm not like a massive active runner at this game. I'm just going to show you how gang territories works and how to skip most of it, but not all of it. So here, we're going to do the second wave. I'm going to go into this territory here on the eastern side. You see this bit's purple. I'm going to look, let's say this way, just for the sake of example. Spawn in the guys, start Vigilante, cancel it, get off. And then that has de-aggroed these guys, and I've taken over that territory. And then I can use these guys to immediately start the next gang war. Does that make sense? So you see I've started this gang war. You can clean up these guys if you want to. They are going to be aggressive towards you. And they will have AKs because they're in the third round. So you can kill them just to be safe, but it's not mandatory. But obviously, we've got the excess ammo, so why not? This guy here. And now you see we're just chaining them infinitely. And this is the idea. And we're going to do this all the way back to Grove Street. For a couple of them here, we're going to do 4, and then we're going to do the rest later. So I'll show you this first segment, and then in the second segment, all that I'll do is I'll like speed it up, so you don't have to watch the whole thing, because again, it's not interesting. It is quite a long segment, even if you do these skips. And obviously, once you've got the idea, you can practice it in your own time without, you know, boring you with half an hour of doing this shit. This is the second wave, so I'm going to, again, start cancel. Use this for the third wave. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll show you which territories to do, and I'll show you a couple of tricks to speed it up even further to make it more efficient as well. So, I'm going to start this one. This guy there with the AK that I should have killed, but I missed him. There he is. It's also worth mentioning, I want to tell you this ahead of time just in case you skip forward. Eventually, for some reason, I don't know why, but eventually these pickups of health and armor are going to stop spawning when you get like deeper into the territories. I don't know why, it's obviously a bug. So just keep that in mind, because you're going to struggle if you take too much damage to replenish your health, because the armor and stuff is not going to spawn consistently. So just keep that in mind. That's the second wave. We're going to do one more territory. And you can see, you can actually go really far out of the zone if you want to. But there is a timer. So eventually, if you go too far out of the zone, you will actually fail the gang war because you were out of the zone for too long. So just keep that in mind. So here, I'm going to kill these last guys, start the next gang war. Ideally, I would be doing this other gang war over here, but it really doesn't matter. Again, the important part is that you're just doing a gang war. You know, like the more you chain them together efficiently, the better. I'm getting absolutely leathered because I'm on like a hill and these guys are... There's also 2 full spawns of just random dudes that are coming at me as well. You can also just get random guys that pull up in cars and like random ballers and stuff that will aggro towards you, which is really annoying, but it is what it is. Those guys aren't counting towards it. There we go, first wave. But yeah, eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to the end of this like territory. And then once we do the second wave, I'm just going to go ahead and go like straight to Grove Street because we don't need to mess around with it. You could go to Grove Street right now if you wanted to be like super efficient. Because the most important part is that you don't even need to use Vigilante for this segment. Because all you need to do is go on mission 1. Obviously, Vigilante is a good thing to do, but the other way you can go on mission 1 is just starting Grow for Life, so that just counts as the territory being done. Yeah, I got a plan. Now, for Grow for Life, this is a mission, so I'll show you how to do it rather than the territory. I'll grab this to be safe. But you see how I'm abandoning Sweet? You don't actually need him at all for this mission, so fuck him. I don't want him. Here you can take over like pretty much any territories you want, but if you want to be super quick, here's how you do it like the quickest way. So these 2 territories are like right on this edge here. There's actually 2 territories. If you're lucky, you can actually go here and you can actually get this gang war to start like this. That was quite lucky. And you can get this gang war to start, and then you can do all the gang war, and then you can go into here and do this one as well. It's way quicker than going all the way over there. But obviously, it requires getting lucky spawns. So if you don't end up getting those spawns, just say fuck it and just like drive about and just get it. Like, ultimately, it's not worth spending minutes trying to get these quick 2 territories when you can just go over there and spend 30 seconds driving around and get a spawn. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's ultimately luck-based because it all depends on the spawns that you get. But this is like the most efficient way to do this mission if you have any choice. So I'm glad I got to show you because, you know, it's one of those things where it's difficult to talk about what I'm saying if I don't get the right spawn. So I'm glad I've got the right spawn so I can show you. And again, the only reason I got the right spawns is because I was able to make use of the cars. The other car that you saw was a, what is it called? A Tahoma? Tahomas and Majestics scream ballers. So that is a really good thing to look out for. So now I'm keeping an eye out again. See a Tahoma over there. That's probably a baller, if I had to guess. It isn't always, but it usually is. So that's likely one kill. Now I'm keeping an eye out. And we're basically just looking for more spawns. Whenever you're in a hood, you're very likely to get spawns, so you don't really have to wait around too much. You can move around, look around your camera to like respawn in peds and stuff. Instead, I'm just getting drug dealers. That's not ideal. There's one more spawn. There we go. I actually somehow had 2 kills, apparently. And here, exactly the same again. You can go back towards Grove Street because that's what we need to do. In between the waves. Just make sure that you don't abandon the wave minigame by mistake. So first wave. I'm going to wait for the second wave. And then in between the second and third wave, I'm going to head towards Grove Street. Because if I go now, I'll probably end up abandoning it by mistake. But again, the more you do this, the more confident you'll get with driving away and doing things as efficiently as possible. I'm just showcasing because I don't really want to fail this and have to re-record it. That's an awkward car spawn though. Don't want to get out here. And they say, any driving that you do here just is driving that you don't have to do in a second when we finish the mission. See, it says get back in the war zone. That means that the timer is basically counting down. So in a few seconds I will fail, but if I'm quick enough, I can actually complete the gang war before it fails. Head back to Grove Street. Make sure you don't run over Sweet because he'll be running towards you here. Make sure you don't run him over. Finish the mission. Very nice. I shouldn't have flung my bike there. I don't even know where it went. Did the bike despawn again? Are you fucking kidding? This game is so shit. Okay. Lessons learned from this tutorial. Don't be on your bike so it despawns, and then don't go too fast into this marker because it also apparently despawns. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, anyway, I'm just going to be showing you the territories anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll just get any old bike, and I'll just go ahead and show you where we're going. So, again, be right back. Okay, I'm back with a bike. It's not a cop bike, but functionally it's the same. Just pretend it's a cop bike, okay? I'm just going to be showing you this really quick anyway. So what you want to do, once you finished Grow for Life, is you want to head this way. And we're going to do the thing again where we're like bordering on 2 territories again. This one is much easier and much more likely to be, you know, easy for you to pull off. And all you're going to do is go here. And we're going to try and get some either Vargos or Ballers to spawn. It doesn't really matter. And all you need to do is stand in this little corner here, and it will count as this Ballers territory rather than the Vargos one. You see there's some Ballers here. That's great. We'll stand in the corner. 1, 2. Any more spawns? I think I saw a Majestic there. I did. You see, and that counts as the Western Ballers one, which is ideal. Then once you're done with that, you can go ahead and do the Vargos one straight away, so you can chain into it. And there is one more that I'm going to show you, which you can do exactly the same way, and it's just up the road here. So again, I'll just quickly finish this gang war, I'll fail it or whatever, and I will show you the other one that you can do. So be back in a sec. So I just fled that one deliberately so I can show you this one as well. This one you will do during the chaining, which we're about to talk about. But all that you need to do is once you like chain towards this one, you can actually stand here in this corner, and you can aim like, let's say here if they're up here, or if they spawn down, you can shoot them here. And this will actually count as this territory over here. So there's a territory corner here, and it's for this like square-ish. And then you can use that to chain into this one, and so on and so forth. So you are going to chain all of the territories one by one, and you're going to do a loop all the way around back towards Cutthroat Business, which is the next mission. So you need to do 11 territories, okay? It might seem, how on earth are you going to do 11? These are split into like really thin columns. So this is like 6 or 7 by itself. But basically the idea is that you start from Grove Street, you come over here, you go over the bridge, you jump down, and then you do this territory, like I showed you. You do this one, then you come around this way, and you chain this one into this one, which we talked about, which you do via the stairs. Then you go up, and you go towards the northern side on this road that goes up here. You go all the way around, and then you just do territory after territory, 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 territory. You can actually see where they split because they're different heights here. But then you literally just do them all in a row here. So yeah, I'm not going to show you the whole thing because, as I say, it is very long and arduous and monotonous. But if you want a full, like, showcase as to how to do it in real time, I'll leave a link in the description to like either my PB or something so you can just see how it's done. But yeah, like you should get the idea. All you literally just need to do is, you know, use the tactics that we did in the first 4 territories and take over the rest of them all the way up until Cutthroat Business. Another thing to mention is you saw that our HUD just became under attack. That is something that happens randomly. It is okay, it's not a problem. All you need to do is go on mission 1 with Vigilante, and it will cancel that exactly the same as it cancels all the other gang territories. So it's a good thing that was shown, because that's a really good thing to mention that a lot of people say, like, oh, what do I do? You don't have to go and defend it. Just start and cancel Vigilante, and you will keep that territory. Okay, sound good? Sound good. I will meet you back in just a few minutes once I've gone towards Cutthroat Business. So once you've finished your last territory, you should be around here, as this is the last one going east to west all the way across. You will take over this territory, and you will be on your way to Cutthroat Business. So from here, all you need to do is head onto the highway, and we're literally right next to the mission. This is why you do the gang territories in this order, east to west, because all you need to do is head up here, cut across the highway. There is a nice little gap in the road here. You can go around, but you can also just... I say you can go over it, and then I just don't. I've done this every single time, and I've never had a problem. Might be because I was leaning forward. But yeah, you can just... There you go. You can just go over it. And then head up over here. Make sure you don't go too far right on this jump, because if you do, you'll end up in this little bit here and fall off. You want to be down here, onto the road, and then hop over here. You can try and bail over this fence if you're good enough, but it's not the easiest thing to do. So if you mess it up like I did, just climb and start Cutthroat Business. So Cutthroat Business is a pretty easy mission. It's mostly an auto-scroller. We just need to get there. But there's going to be a strat right at the start that I'm not going to show you how to do deliberately, because it is fairly difficult. I would say it's more of an advanced, like intermediate to advanced strategy. So as a beginner, I wouldn't recommend going for it. You can if you want to, and it is the jump into the water using the BF. But again, this is a beginner's guide, so I'm going to assume that you're a complete beginner and you've never done it before. So I'm just going to show you the slower, slightly slower, but much safer way to get to OG Loke. But then what I am going to show you is I'm going to show you the news van strat on the subsequent chase, because I think this is easily something that beginners can do as long as you know what you're doing, and obviously I will show you. So here, what you would do if you were an intermediate player is you would build up a ton of speed, and you would launch the BF injection off this cliff to go and hit the trigger. And if you just go perfectly enough with enough speed, you can hit the trigger before you die, or before Mad Dog dies, excuse me, he will drown. But instead, I would heavily recommend just dropping down here and heading onto the train tracks instead. Even if you flip, it doesn't matter. But then you can just drive down here, you see. But this, you need to be quick, so keep this in mind. You might have to drill this a few times. Skip the cutscene, get out, immediately get in the news van. You need to be quick here, because if OG Look gets too far away, then you will fail the mission from being too far. But we're going to go here. And we're going to go around and underneath this. You can also, I don't know if this works in San Andreas. I do it, it might be a placebo. But if you look at certain characters in certain GTA games, you don't fail from being too far away because they're on camera. You can do that. I don't remember it works in San Andreas, but it shouldn't be necessary because you should be close enough anyway, assuming you go fast enough and follow this route. So we're going to cut under the bridge like this. We're going to head down and we're going to head onto the beach. And we're just basically going to stick parallel with him. And this is a rare auto-scroller that as long as you don't get too far away, it actually doesn't matter where OG Loke is. You can trigger the next section of the chase before he's even there. So this is what the news van is so good for. We can trigger it really early. So we're going to head up here. And then he's going to go underneath and all the way around, but we're just going to cut through and go straight here. And this is where the next segment takes place. So he's not even close, as you see, and we just trigger it just like that immediately. and he skips all the way here. As you saw, that wasn't a difficult thing to do whatsoever, so I'd recommend you do it even if you're a beginner. This segment is just a chase. There isn't really anything you can do to speed it up. The only thing that you should do is go as fast as possible, because OG Loke, I assume, I don't know this for sure because I don't really look into these things, but I assume he will slow down based on how fast or slow you are. So the faster you go, the faster he goes, and the faster we get to our destination. So if you get ahead of him, just cut ahead, keep going this way, but he will eventually take you over because he's scripted to do so. Yeah, we just drive through, and all you got to do is just take the route that I do. This bit is very trivial. You can't really fail this. Just try not to flip your go-kart. I've done that before. You don't actually fail the mission for blowing up the go-kart, but there are very little amounts of traffic on the road, as you can see. So you'll likely lose him because you won't be able to run and catch up with him. Done that before. It is a very silly way to fail the mission. So, would not recommend. The only other thing you can do here towards the end is he will turn right here. Don't turn right, instead head onto this next road, because this is where he comes out anyway. So it's just a bit of less effort, basically, to follow him. He literally sits right here, so you can just get here ahead of time and have a little break. There you go, and that's mission done. I'm going to answer this call in case I need it. That cheetah would be perfect if I could get it, but I'm probably not going to. It's fine, I'll take the ZR. This car. It's weird to see a ZR without a spoiler. But next up is Riot. This mission is extremely, extremely trivial. We literally just have to drive back to Grove Street, and that is mission done. I don't even know why this is a mission in the game. It also introduces the worst mechanic in this game, which is the Riot mode, which is just you drive along the street and you can randomly get insta-killed by blowing up vehicles next to you. It's very fun and interesting, I assure you. Yep, start the mission. There is a risky route you can do here where you can potentially flip your car and blow it up by going this way. I'm not going to teach you that. I'm going to teach you the slightly slower but way safer route, which is to go up this way. And we're going to head east, and we're going to cut down onto the highway just to the east here. You can flip here if you're not careful, but just don't go too fast over this hill. Slow down a little bit. But you shouldn't flip as long as you don't, drive extremely recklessly. We're going to go here, then we're going to cut off the highway to the east when we get the option, and we're just going to take it all the way back down towards Grove Street. Very simple mission. Just watch out for the vehicles, because they can blow up and kill you. As you can see there, that bike was on fire. It could have exploded and killed me if I wasn't careful. That's just the joy of Riot mode. Just random insta-kills. And for some reason, they put that in the game. Don't ask me why. Oops. I'm looking at my other monitor. Do excuse me. I'm going to be a random insta-kill blowing up vehicles soon if I'm not careful. Go, cut through, and this is mission done.
Come tomorrow, most of the Central's gonna have new TVs. Look at them, like I'm gonna gather up some homies and get the hood locked down. You need anything, give me a call. I'm gonna check out the city.
So this next mission, we're going to require a number of homies to come with us. And if we get them in the car, they can sometimes randomly jump out of the car, and they become like bugged, and it's like really annoying to re-recruit them. It's just a bug. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little strategy to avoid that entirely. I'm going to get in my car here, and I'm going to abandon Caesar straight away. Just leave him. I'm going to have a look now for some Grove Street homies, and I want to recruit 3 of them instead of 2. Usually you would recruit 2, but if you recruit 3 here, you can actually trick the game into thinking that 2 Grove Street homies and Caesar are with you, when in reality, they're not. And we can trigger the market anyway. So I'm just going to drive up back and forth here, and look, we keep getting groups of 2, which is really unfortunate. There's a group of 3. I'm going to recruit all 3 of these guys, and then I'm going to abandon them again. This sounds silly, but trust me, this is the consistent way to do this mission. Just make sure none of them die. So you know if it's correct because you'll get the dialogue there for abandoning Caesar twice. You see, he says like, oh, come back, and it says you left Caesar behind. And he says come back again because you've abandoned him a second time. That's how you know you've done it right. And if all goes well, you should be able to drive here with no homies, no Caesar, but the red marker is there, which means you've done it correctly. Usually this marker would not be here unless you had Caesar and 2 homies with you. But as I say, we skip all that with this little trick. It's a really cool find. Because this mission used to be a massive troll back in, like, before this was found. Because you would spend, you know, you're like 5 hours into a run. And then you would recruit 2 homies. They would both dive out of the car and refuse to get back in. And then you'd just get, like, insta-killed by riot mode bullshit. And it would be, like, the most unfair way to kill a run 5 hours in.
Keep together.
Like, it would just be such bullshit. But now you don't have to worry about that. You can just abandon everyone and make it through anyway. So aside from that, the rest of this mission is very trivial. It is just nuking everyone with a minigun. There is nothing to it. In any percent, this mission is very intricate on what you need to do, but in NMG, you don't need to care. Just absolutely massacre everybody. Everyone with a red thing over their head. Go nuts. Kill them all. And same again, we're going to do a couple more waves here. Exactly the same thing. No survivors. Kill them all. The only thing noting here is there's going to be a garage that opens on my right, and there's going to be the whole Hazer scripted death thing. This guy who shoots Hazer is invincible, as you can see, until he is scripted to kill Hazer. So just keep that in mind. If you're wondering why you can't kill him, that's why. Some of them are also mid-animation before they drop. It's kind of weird, but yeah, just nuke them all. These guys as well. These guys. These guys. There's 2 more behind us as well. Bear in mind that in this next segment, there's going to be a guy with a flamethrower and a rocket launcher. I would recommend killing the rocket guy first because he can potentially be dangerous. Although he is extremely inaccurate, as you can see. But yeah, kill the rocket guy, then just kill everybody else. And now we're on to the last mission of the game.
How's Hazer? We need to get him to a hospital.
Hey, I'll take him.
CJ, you done more than enough, Holmes. You should get back to the Grove.
All right, S.A. I'll see you after all this is settled down.
Thanks, CJ, and good luck, my friend.
So here we just want to grab anything we can. Ideally, the fixed voodoo here is available. Sometimes it can be blown up, as you can see. The blade is the second best thing. If you don't get a blade either, then just grab whatever you can, basically. This woman's trying to beat me up. Things are exploding. Very fun and interesting. So now we're heading back to... excuse me, let's go this way. We're heading back to Grove Street. And we need to take 2 phone calls. So ideally, you've emptied out your queue. We could answer both the phone calls back at Grove Street, but we'd be sat waiting for like 20 seconds to answer them. So instead, I drive to like here, and 20 seconds will have passed. I'm going to get out here and answer the first phone call. Do it when it's safe to do so. The last thing you want is to get blown up while answering the call. But we're good here. And then this is the first call telling you that you need to start taking over territories around LS. So now, obviously the game doesn't know that we know that it's going to tell us to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out and we're going to get the immediate call to say, oh, nice one, you've taken all the gang territories over. Let's start the final mission. So you see the markers here, but it'll tell you that you haven't taken enough over enough territories. I was going to showcase it to you, but I don't want to cancel the call and have to wait another 20 seconds. But you need this second phone call. So if you've done all the gang territories, but you keep wondering, oh, why is it saying that I haven't done enough? That is purely because you haven't taken that second phone call. So keep that in mind. So here we need to go up to the north. We're going to go south to start off with, which seems a bit counterintuitive, but because we're going to go up here. If you were to go west, you have to go all the way around. So this is a little bit quicker.
That same bucket ass car, man.
And then it's just on the next road here. So this mission is long. It's in 3 different segments. Part 1 ends when you kill Big Smoke, and part 2 ends when you escape this building that we're about to infiltrate. If you die on any of the segments, do not reload your save, because it actually has checkpoints. So if you kill Smoke, you have then activated a checkpoint, and you can start from that section after you've killed Smoke. A lot of people, what they do is they save scum this mission and redo the entire thing from scratch. Not recommended, because as I say, this mission is extremely long. Excuse my terrible biking here. And you will get checkpoints at 2 different portions. So for part 1, we're just going to go here, and we're going to steal this APC tank. I'm already on very low health, which isn't good, but it's okay. I'm going to take things slowly anyway, so I can show you where the spawns are and who you need to kill and stuff. But this is another one of those missions where the more confident you get, eventually, if you watch high-tier gameplay of this, they just slide through the whole thing with a minigun and just run through everyone. But obviously, I'm going to show you like where to go, what to do, so we can take it a bit more slowly. If you're a beginner, I would take it slowly anyway, purely because this is, as I say, it's a long mission to fail. So we're going to go up. There's a guy here. There's a guy that jumps out here. There is a guy here. And there's also an armor pickup there, which is very useful. Kill this guy too. So armor pickups are very useful. They are in every one of these little boots has an armor pickup on the way up and down, so keep that in mind. Once you go in here, just try and kill as many people as you can. There's a lot of people. You can always take a step back into the other room if you're concerned about taking too much damage from the AKs, but you should be fine. This guy's really annoying because he keeps ducking in and out. You want to prioritize killing him because he's so close that he can do damage to you quickly. Once that APC spawns, kill it because it'll blow up everybody around it straight away. Kill these guys at top as well because you don't want to die. I think that's pretty much everyone. Yep. And once you get here, there's going to be a couple more guys that come out here as well, so just bear that in mind. There you go. A couple more dudes in here. 1, 2. And if you took a bit too much damage, that's fine, because we're going to go to the next section and we're going to have another healing section. Another healing spot. You can go in here for health if you want to. There's no armor, but there is health. There's also a Spaz 12, but this isn't particularly useful. I'll grab it for the sake of it, but you're probably not going to use it, because this minigun is way more powerful. Floor 2, you can see there's a booth up top of the stairs. That means there's armor, which is perfect. There is also a guy guarding it, so kill him. Head through. Guy there, he has pistols. He's not really that big of a threat. This is the room where you want to be careful. Blow up the barrels as quickly as you can and kill all these guys as well. These guys are in weird positions again, but just use your barrels to your advantage. And there's also a couple of guys up top as well. There's a guy here. Watch out, because you can get rushed very quickly with an M4. And then there is also a guy here. There's one somewhere here. There he is. There. There's a guy here to the left that I still haven't killed. He keeps being really annoying. And there's a guy up there as well. Cool. All done. There's going to be some more barrels once we go up top. You can blow them up prematurely or not. It's up to you. You can also slide through this thing, as I said, but I'm going to expect that you don't know, or you're not too comfortable with sliding all the way through this thing. So what you can do is you can just blow this up. A couple of guys will spawn in here. These guys down here you don't need to care about. They're probably not going to do any damage to you, but you can kill them if you want to be safe. There is health here if you need it, but you probably won't. Final one is just a couple more rooms. This is the most trivial one. This is the easiest part. Again, armor here if you need it. Two guys here. One guy behind the bar. Watch out for the shotguns. These are the only guys that are any threat to you. I wouldn't kill this guy in a run, but you can if you want to be safe. Guy here. Go through. Two guys there with the shotgun, as you can see. These are the guys that you want to prioritize. That guy with the shotgun there. Because you see, they can shoot you and they will stun lock you. So that guy with the shotgun and this guy with the shotgun are your absolute top priorities. Because they can do a ton of damage and stun lock you. And now we're heading up to Big Smoke. Big Smoke has body armor and will tank your minigun hits, so shoot him in the head. With the minigun, you can kill him so quickly. And look at that, boss fight done, just like that. So here you get a checkpoint. If you die during this segment, do not reload the game. Go to the hospital, drive back to the marker, start the mission. You'll have all your guns because you've dated Katie, and so you haven't lost anything. All you've lost is a little bit of time. Here, you can use the night vision goggles if you wish, but personally, I don't, because I don't think they actually help me. I feel like they just make things worse, personally. But it's preference. I can see just fine without them. I know where most of the spawns are, so yeah. It's completely up to you. Again, I'm just showcasing the spawns as we go through. Ideally, you slide through this whole thing and pick people off, but I would recommend walking at the start just to be sure you have more than enough time. Armor here if you need it. As I say, they spawn in all of these again on the way down as well. Here, once you go in, there's 5 guys that you want to kill. It's kind of difficult to see them, but you can use the markers over their head to see them. There's a guy there, there's a guy here to the right, and there's a guy all the way at the back. You see, I can't see this guy at all, but I can see the marker, so I know when he's dead. There's also a guy here, but he's just extinguishing flames. You can kill him if you want to, but it doesn't matter. Here, you don't need to put out the fires. You can just jump over the flames. And even if you take a bit of damage, it doesn't matter, because you can just tank through it. You'll be absolutely fine. What I would recommend doing here is sliding with the AK, because you can't jump with the minigun, so you can't jump over the flames. But obviously sliding with the AK is very trivial compared to minigun sliding. And we've killed everybody in the room anyway, so. Slide through, dodge the fire. But again, if you do get set on fire, it's not a big deal. I'll showcase it. Because we're going to be going in here, and there's armor right here again anyway. So it doesn't make a difference. So this room, if you do desperately need health, you can go in here and there's health there again, but you shouldn't need it. There's a guy here. This room is the dangerous room, especially when you are sliding through. So just keep that in mind. But it's one of those rooms that the quicker you do it, the safer it actually is. But I'm going to showcase all the spawns just for the sake of showing you again, so you know what you're dealing with. A couple of guys there. There's one at the back, and there's a bunch at the top here you see as well. So the easiest way when you want to do this slowly is I recommend just slowly edging forward and move your camera like everywhere and just scope over the place, basically. And then once you've cleared out one side, go here, and you can take out everybody on this side as well. I think I've got mostly everyone. There are a couple of guys that are really difficult to see up top. I wouldn't really care about them. I would just leave as soon as you can, because again, you can heal. You see this guy up there shooting me, doesn't matter. Get in, get the armor. From here, as soon as you make it through that room, you are good. Like, this is all trivial. You don't even need to care about these guys. Head through, jump down, and head through here. Make sure you go through the left door here. Actually, no. Ignore what I just said. That's an any percent thing. You can do it as a matter of principle anyway, but it doesn't matter. It's not a strat. Here you can just leave. You'll hit the trigger before you take even close to lethal damage. But again, if you want to be super safe, you can kill everyone, but there's no reason to. This is the end of part 2. Once again, if you fail this mission at this point, do not reload your save. You will be able to continue from this segment.
Tenpenny, you motherfucking piece of shit. I ain't letting you get away with all you've done.
So, I actually got a really long black screen there, and I thought my game had crashed, but it hadn't, and it just came back to me why it happens. So, it is possible to get a phone call during that little fade, and if the phone call comes in, the next segment will not progress. So what you should do is you should mash your answer phone call key, and the key to put down the phone. So let's say, like for me, it's tab to answer the phone, and F to put down the phone. Just mash tab and F, and you will answer any potential call that comes through and stop that long loading screen from happening. Well, the fake game crash or whatever you want to call it. But this final segment is extremely trivial. It is just a chase segment. It's basically an auto-scroller. The only difficult part is you have to catch Sweet at the end of the segment. And sadly, it is luck whether you pass or fail or not. It is likely that you'll pass, but you can fail due to things that are completely not your fault. Basically, the fire truck is really extremely heavy. It will push through any vehicle. And even though there's no traffic on this road, once Sweet starts getting his fingers stamped on, they will actually have traffic on the road for some stupid reason. And basically what can happen is the fire truck can knock cars into your path, and then you won't have enough time to catch up and grab Sweet, and you'll fail the mission. It's really dumb. I don't know why they added traffic here when they don't have traffic anywhere else. But yeah, it's just one of those things. If that happens, just drive back to Grove Street, start the mission, go again. You'll lose a couple of minutes, but it's better than, you know, the run dying entirely. I'll show you a couple of strategies to alleviate that as much as you can, but ultimately, there's only so much you can do to put the odds in your favor. It's never going to be 100%.
Oh man, that was a close call. I ain't letting this bastard go.
So around here is where the whole catching sweet segment's going to start, and where you start want to be, you want to be starting to be like locked in. So as you can see, these traffic just gets launched towards you. So what I would recommend doing is I would recommend trying to despawn as much traffic in the right lane as possible. So then there's less chance of them being hit into you, because they're always going to drive into the right lane like this, and then you can catch sweet. Again, that is just a strategy to increase your odds of success. It will never be 100%.
Take the wheel.
Aside from that, that is basically the last hard part done. This is again just an auto scroller. All you've got to do is shoot the cars, and you will be done.
The fire trucks are indestructible. We ain't gonna get it. Watch our six. Cops on our tail.
So this is a couple of minutes before it ends. So I'll take this liberty to thank you all for watching, for being here. Whether you watch the individual segments or the full series, or you know, whatever individual parts that you were interested in, thank you very much. It means a lot. I hope you learned something from this. It has been, excuse me, it has been really cool to see so many comments from so many different people of different skill levels to say, like, basically like, oh, I didn't notice, like, you know, even though I've been running the game for a while, or I've watched quite a few YouTube videos, I didn't actually know this was a thing, so I've learned something, which is really cool. It's glad I can teach you some stuff. If you do have any other questions about San Andreas speedrunning, you are more than welcome to either message me on Discord or Twitter or whatever. I always do my best to reply to people. Or join the GTA Speedrunning Discord, which will be linked in the description. There is a dedicated place where you can ask for help specific with GTA San Andreas speedrunning, or just use the channel to discuss the San Andreas speedrun with other people. You know, if you have an idea for a new strategy, or need some help with a certain trick, or you want to learn some more advanced strategies, then that's the place to be. There is also linked in the description a Google Drive link with a ton of different various GTA resources, including splits that you can use, the ones that you see on the left-hand side of the screen, as well as save games. So you can, there's saves for each individual mission and each individual segment, so you can practice any individual portion without having to do a whole run, things like that. It will probably, if you're a beginner to this, it will probably provide you a great amount of use, so be sure to check those out as well. So time comes up once you lose control here and the fire truck goes sailing over the bridge.
He's losing control.
We got the motherfucker.
There you go, that's done. That is how to speedrun the entirety of GTA San Andreas. Once again, hope you enjoyed. Say any questions, feel free to message me or join the Discord. And yeah, thanks again for watching. I will see you all next time with my next guide. I don't know what it will be. Maybe GTA 3, because I think my 80% guide of that is a little outdated. But yeah, hope you... well, I suppose I wish you all the best with your GTA San Andreas. Let me try that again. I wish you all the best with your GTA San Andreas speedrunning endeavors. That was very difficult to say. See you all next time. Thanks for watching.